Hello, this is Gerald Johan van Waas. I can't have enough demonstrations so that everybody gets used to the system that I'm talking about, but also for me to realize what is the most practical way to combine the separate focuses of all letters. Every letter is related with a specific focus, a focus of either something which is fixed, a starting point which I can use to pick out and to make my definitions and my words and my understanding and to define that into words, or I can deal with things that are different and some other opinions and so other definitions and so on, other changes and so on. So I will watch the timing. So before me is the spatial references of fixed points. Beyond that is the timing, so that I also deal with that the things at one place are not always the same, so they change, so I deal with the changes. Or the last thing is I deal with the general truth, the truth in its own, the full reality, in which I also realize that my opinion, my understanding is limited, so I have to limit myself to a certain range of what I understand and define that. And I also have then positions, and all these combinations of positions into these three realms make up the distinction that we create and that we make with letters. Why is that the same thing as in letters, as the system that I tell you about? It's a reality which is almost like geometry. The conditions of trying to distinguish something uses very basic principles. A 1, 2, 3 principle that I can use one focus, two focus, three focuses. I use association in space, also the vertical diagonal, 1, 2, 3. All these kinds of elements build up actually a logic of differences, of distinctions. And it's just the elements, the basic elements that are piling up and make more complexity and deal with more things. And that's it. And all the letters are also recognized by these elements. Like, can I recognize it in just one point only? Or do I have some doubt there? There's a whole system. I'm not going to talk about that, but I will have another demonstration, which is the word splinter. That means that every letter which is related with a focus builds up by adding another focus, and it deals with what is already pronounced before that. So it is like a piling up of elements that of course make a different definition with a different order of letters. And what do we have? We have the first letter, which is in the third category. So that starts into the general realm. Where things are just ongoing. So this could be, whatever that could be, it is from there that I will focus upon it, where the letter S is compared to my picking out of choices of elements where I can start with. This is really the opposite. It's coming towards me. It's you don't have control over it. It comes towards you, as if also with its own feedback system that you pay attention to. It's really about paying attention and about positions. This position in the end is really in that realm where you are confronted with your limitations of how much you can do about something about it as well. So it is also not just that you only see a part of it, it's also like you can't do much about it. You have to take the effect that it will give to you. That's the letter S. It could, of course, be applied to a material. Material is also something general. It doesn't have a beginning, doesn't have an ending, but not necessarily. It's just about a focus. We see that, okay, we have some kind of focus. It's there. It could be anywhere. It could be there. It could be there. It's an understanding much more than a placement, a specific placement. It's also much more than a direction of change. No, it is more a realization. Oh, it's there. I can find it anywhere. So that's with the S. one of the conditions that is always the same with that letter S. It's within that general realm, it's that realization, oops, I have to deal with something. I have to deal with something is my starting point. And what do I have to deal with? I'm not talking about my opinion or someone else's opinion. No, I start within that general realm. It is about a fact in reality, and that fact will be connected to a letter from the second category, which is about timing. So there is a certain time in this case, because I have already this general realm where I have a selective position, a selective timing, so that I will also have a selective timing, an exceptional time even as well, with the last two letters E and S are about the exceptions, that I can't do anything about it. Here I go to it, and it means also at a certain time it appears. With the letter P to it, it is also about that appearing. That appearing, it happens, it just happens at a certain time. It happens and it pops up there. And not only that, what pops up, what is realized, something is realized, and here comes a material in the letter L. With the letter L, we have a focus into the material. Something is formed there. We realize something is formed there. The L, because of the P, is about directions, going towards results in all kinds of directions with a certain results that come out of it. It will influence also the L, which usually is from 1 to 2, so it will create two, almost like two things or differences in material. I can have it also in a sound in form translation. That means into a form, into two parts as well. Even that one part is the most important. I will focus mostly upon that. But here you see the split, like in the word splitting as well. You have that also. You have these conditions that you go in all directions. Something pops up and have that influence there. You will have, and from there onwards, there's a form coming forth from it. This form, if you really focus there, it has a tendency that it really can lead to another word like split, but it will not. I will not do that. I will go to splinter. The I will focus again to that inner part where something happens. It is again a selection that really says it's only here at a certain point. It's somewhere there within. There I will notice it. It's different from other positions in the general realm there, and in all times and all things that happens there. It's only there at a certain condition, framed within certain limitations, only there. And what is there then? That will be defined in the next letter. It doesn't go immediately to the place in T, the placement, so it's not just it goes to there and that's the point where I'm focused upon. No, there is an extra letter there, the letter N. What's the letter N about? N is the move of space, the move of placement. So even though I will already add the letter N here of placement, the placement is also a displacement. The N is about a direction from space, and it will have a displacement. Even though I'm not just still focusing upon the same thing, where normally the letter T will be if I have a fixed point alone, so like in split, so that I really say, okay, here's the point where the thing split. I will have the N in between it. So I have, before I almost make a conclusion, no, it's there in that place, I have to have a displacement. I have to replace it actually. So better is, of course, that I also have in that focus that I have that displacement shown before the T. That letter N comes into the T, so I will have not a normal split, I will have a displacement. That displacement is at the same time, what is that displacement about? I have, of course, from S to P to L, I have, of course, that material that I want to remove also from where I see it split somewhere where I can see it split up. So I have that idea also that I want to remove it, or have to remove it, or it should be removed, or it is removing. It can be all of these things. And the last two letters actually, like with the R, makes a connection somewhere, and with E it also makes a connection to timing. In R it makes a connection to what I'm really using it for. Let's have it expressed now. So R first, I will have that first, because the is just a very short moment where I notice something. So the R is also about making connection and defining what my limited view is about. How do I define that? Define that with R. It's always with the defining of from and to. So I go from it and go to it. I go to it and go from it. So that I have my idea of what is connecting there, and can be connecting the whole time, most of the time as well. But I'm going from and go to. So I have this connection that I have to express within my frame. But it's also just with at just one moment. So there's a timing where I've noticed this one moment. So I notice it. Oh no, I notice this thing that I start from and I go to, but I also, with this removement, with this moving out, I want to get it out. Or in a way, is also the idea that is associated with that splinter. I see it at a certain spot. It's in somewhere, but there's a movement or moving out as well, where I have it, where my focus go towards it. I want to remove it in a way as well, in that way where I have that conclusion in the end in R, in that connection to it and from it. This is basically what I recognize in the word of splinter, which uses the letter in the correct way, how we should associate the positions, and also it's easily building up, and from that building up we easily have a couple of associations that fit to the object and that still fit to the letters as well. I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks again for watching. Bye.